international law. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Greece for the statement. I give the floor to the representative of Panama.
Gracias, Presidente.
Thank you, President. We wish to thank the ASG for Africa from the Department of Political and Peace Building Affairs and Peace Operations, Ms. Mata Pobe, for her detailed presentation. We also thank Mr. Ahmad Batevi and Ms. Masi Alinajed for their briefings. Moreover, we recognize the representative of the Islamic Republic of Iran and their delegation. The Republic of Panama expresses its grave concern at the events that are and the people's protests that have been unfolding in the Islamic Republic of Iran. These events lay bare the widespread discontent of the civilian population. The protests were originally peaceful, despite the fact that ultimately they were repressed with violence. These events have been met with a disproportionate response from the Iranian authorities. The authorities are looking at stifling citizens' freedom of expression due to cuts to communication blackouts across the country. It is difficult to objectively verify the facts. As such, there is little accurate information available regarding the current state of affairs. We cannot confirm the information that is circulating. However, thanks to the work of several independent media outlets, that of non-governmental organizations and that of brave Iranians, concerning figures have emerged. According to these reports, to date, the number of fatalities could stand at 2,000 or more, and a considerable number of people have been wounded or detained. Against this backdrop, concerns begin to arise, legitimate concerns indeed, at the possibility that the government may use summary trials and executions against those detained during national protests. With this in mind, Panama rejects any type of execution where the accused has not been offered the right to defense and due process in accordance with international law. These guarantees can never be selectively applied, nor can they be applied with double standards. Many detainees could meet such a fate, this in flagrant violation of all due process and of the fundamental rights protected by international law and enshrined in the UN Charter. President, rights to the freedom of expression, association and peaceful assembly, as enshrined in international law, must be fully respected and protected by all states. Recent protests are the consequence of the wearing down of a regime which is economically and socially exhausted. They are also the consequence of the actions of the regime itself. These actions have gradually worsened the day-to-day lives of Iranians and have specifically affected Iranian women and children. The regime has prevented their education, their participation in public life, and their autonomy. Episodes in recent years have already laid bare the fact that there is a need to guarantee women's legitimate right to exercise their fundamental rights in a safe and dignified fashion. However, it is indeed timely to recognize that the economic isolation imposed by the international community may have also contributed to a certain extent to the fraying of Iran's social fabric, and that has directly affected the civilian population and exacerbated internal tensions. Consequently, we appeal to all actors to constructively provide support. All must also avoid imposing additional pressures which could further worsen the situation. It is of the utmost importance that the international community act with a sense of great responsibility and that it exercise caution. It must endeavour not to create adverse effects through their actions, which could have unpredictable consequences and further burden the already heavily tested Iranian population or serve to escalate tensions. This will see us ensure that the cure administered is not worse than the original illness. We urge the Iranian authorities to immediately put an end to and avoid all violent or disproportionate actions against the civilian population. The Iranian authorities must urgently facilitate a constructive forum for peaceful dialogue. Moreover, we encourage measures which guarantee access to information and communications, including the restoration of services that have been interrupted. This is because transparency is a fundamental prerequisite to generate trust and to prevent a further escalation of tensions. It is vital that human rights be respected. Citizens' safety and security must be guaranteed, and the legitimate demands of society must be heeded if we are to restore stability in the country. Thank you.